Hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Leah, and this is something I like to call Mental Monday. So let's get into it. Hi. I just want to apologize for a couple of things. One, if the camera looks shitty, I still don't have a decent camera. And if the lighting is too harsh, I'm still trying to figure out where to put my light. Um, and also another thing to apologize for. It's been a minute since we've had a mental Monday or just talked in general. As you may notice, uh, the channel is new. New. A lot of things happened with that. A lot of life things happened since I last did a mental Monday. Last thing I remember is we finished the book, which, good job, congrats. And also, another thing, I am married. So, yeah, a lot of life things have happened. And for the most part, they were getting better or seeming to be better. But I feel like I just kind of pushed things off and masked a lot of things. Uh, but let's just get into the topic of this video, shall we? The main topic is regret. And, ooh, I feel like regret is like a part of life, though. You can't really avoid it no matter how much you want to. It's just kind of there, unfortunately. Oh, it kind of ties back to the whole channel thing. So, my other channel was tied to an email that kind of tied back to a previous relationship. And there for a while, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I don't care. And then it just, I don't know where it hit me like, I wonder if there's a way I can move my channel from this email to a different one. And I thought I figured that out, and it didn't necessarily work. So it's like, okay, well, I can't really undo it. What do I do now? And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I just get rid of that channel, kind of start fresh in a way, and just kind of leave all that old stuff, all that old content behind, and just start new. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here today. It did kind of upset me at first when I initially lost the account, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, eh. All I had on there was some shitty Fortnite gameplay. uh, but that's me in general, just shitty content. It's fine. But yeah, I did regret it at first, and the more I thought about it, I was, this is for the best. So I kind of just threw that regret out the window. Some other things, I feel like I'm slacking in some areas. Obviously, I was slacking with uploading, and then I was also slacking with the streaming side of things, and I kind of quit for a while without like any intention to do so. It just kind of like happened. And then I was slowly easing back into it. I was like, you know what? Why don't I do every other day? And that worked for a little bit. And then I quit again, and it's just I have some things that I personally need to work on because unfortunately when I stream, I think about numbers and it's like you guys said you were free, you're not here. How come this person is getting this many but I'm only getting this many? It's just numbers. It's just numbers. Obviously the numbers are real people with real feelings. I'm not disregarding that, but the bottom line, it was just numbers. I was like, I can't worry about that. I need to get back into streaming for me and just going live and having a good time and not worrying about who's there, who's not, who's busy, who's free. Like I no. No, I can't do that, you know? And So streaming took a bit of a pause. Um, I don't necessarily know how I'm going to move forward with this channel because there's a lot. I don't know if you guys like Sims content. I find it kind of relaxing, especially when people like are in build or cast. Like that's what I like watching. And then there was still the whole Not So Berry thing where I only did like the one episode, the intro episode. And I was like, I've been wanting to get into that and finishing out that whole thing. And I don't know. I think I'm going to kind of take it with streaming and just kind of upload what I want to and what's going to make me happy. Because with the whole Fortnite uploads, I felt like it was just, I have to get something out like right now. And no, 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 that stressed me out. And my patience when it comes to like editing is just not there. Like I'll edit for a good 10 minutes and I'm just like, I'm bored. I don't want to do this anymore. But in my head, I'm like, no, you need to get this done. You have to get this done. So I was just constantly stressed. Um, yeah, it just, I should actually get a lot of things done now because along with some life things that have happened, I somewhat more or less lost my job and I haven't been working for the past, I'd say, good 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And that has been stressful. It would have been different if I myself decided to just stop working, but the fact that it happened just so randomly and suddenly is just like, where do I go from here? What's gonna happen? What do I do? So that's also been some stress that I've been dealing with, and that's also another thing. Like it makes me feel shitty because I feel like I'm too involved in my own stress and stuff that everyone around me is just kind of not necessarily like suffering or whatever. I feel like I'm not there as much as I used to be, or not there for them. Like how, what am I trying to say? How I used to be mainly, and not as often as I would like to. There we go. Jeez. Uh, in the end, I do need to essentially take care of myself first. I have to make sure that I'm good so that I can make sure others are good. Because I don't want to fake anything, you know? I want to be as authentic and genuine as I can when I'm helping people. And I don't want to be telling them some things and then turn around and not follow it myself. Like, that's not me. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So, a few things to sort out, but it's just life. Life is full of both positive and negative, and I think it's quite equally balanced. It's just been a struggle. But that was pretty much a catch up of me, and back to the whole regret thing. I took it to Discord, which, if you're not in there and you would like to join to be a part of Mental Monday, you absolutely can. You can even still answer the question in the comments if you want, because I mean, I'll still read them and it'll still be just as effective. And I like seeing people's opinions on things and get different answers and stuff and where people's coming from. But the question was, do you think regret is more about what we've done or what we didn't do? Do you have any regrets? First one is what we don't do, but it's mostly way after the fact and stuff we don't realize unless it has an impact on something else. I have a lot of early life regrets, but I also see I wouldn't be where I am if I'd never made those regrets. Yeah, it's a butterfly effect. And that just goes with anything in life, whether you regret it or not. That's just life. Because honestly, if you didn't do this, where would you be? Or if you chose to go a different route, where would you be? And it's just constant, like, what ifs. And regret is just, it's a negative mentality, to be honest. And it makes you overthink, and it's just not good. Second one, I definitely feel like it could go either way. I've done some things that I regret, but I've also not done some things and regretted it later. Something I most regret doing is getting into softball when I was in middle school. That made my dad get back into it after retiring, and it has had a toxic impact on my family. If I never decided that I wanted to try out for that team, I could have saved myself and mom from a lot of pain. Again, the whole butterfly effect thing, because uh, it, this is going to sound shitty, and I don't want it to come off that way. Even if you didn't, even if you didn't get into softball, what if, later on down the line something else came up and some shit still happened? You never know. It's hard to judge those type of decisions, because it could go way one way or way the other, and you really just don't know until you make one decision, and it sucks. And I am sorry that you do go through a lot. It does hurt whenever you talk about your dad, and it really does suck, because knowing how my dad was growing up, I couldn't imagine growing up in a crazy environment like that, like you are, and it just makes me sad. It's difficult to judge. You don't know what is right or wrong in that point in time, until obviously, things happen after your decisions. It's so shitty. It really is. This last one said, I've been sitting here for hours trying to figure out the words I want to type for this. I know I regret a lot of things. Choices I've made I regret, but making regrets is a part of life. I typed a whole thing out and it was run on. Long story short, yes, I have had regrets. I could have been there more for now deceased family members. I could have continued playing my instrument and possibly got a scholarship. I could have went back to school my senior year. The list goes on. No one is perfect, and regrets will be made. Yes, I have regrets, but those regrets made me the man I am today. Exactly. Because thinking back, you could easily be like, man, I wish I would have done things differently. Okay, but maybe you'd be worse off. You don't know that. And I am a really strong believer in everything happens for a reason. Even the shitty events that take place, because yeah, it could be shitty right now, but maybe a year later you kind of look back and I'm glad I'm not in that situation anymore, because I went through that. I was able to make this decision to get to here, and it's just it's just it's kind of stressful to think about, to be honest. But I get where this one's coming from, because I also have a lot of regrets, and a lot of them is more or less choosing a past relationship over my dad and grandpa. Because way in the past, back in about 2018, towards the end of 2018, I was supposed to be coming home for a visit, a month visit, because I lived off in Kansas, and that's 6.5 hours away. So I was meant to come home for about a month, because my grandpa at the time wasn't doing so great, and a lot of things went down. I ended up fully moving back home, and then probably a couple months, not a couple months, a couple weeks after he passed, and I just kept kind of downing myself, you should have been here sooner, you should have came back sooner. And so that was a lot of regret. And then also the same thing happened in 2019, no, 2020. A lot of shit went down 2020. A lot. And November of 2020 is when, because after he passed in 2019, my grandpa, he passed in 2019. I was done with that relationship. And then back August 2019, I made the stupid decision to go back. Whatever reason, I don't know. And then 2020, the next year, after everything that went down, I was just like, you know what? I have to prioritize me and my mental health. Because if I would have stayed there like a month more, I probably would not be here today. And that's scary to think about. And then thinking back in the mindset that I was in. But in 2020, I came back, and that was in November. And then December, my dad passed. And then I spiraled again, and I was just like, you know what? I should have been here. I knew he wasn't doing good, but I still chose to move away and essentially like escape the sadness of being here, which that was no better, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, those are probably like my two biggest regrets in life. You know, you just kind of take it day by day, and you learn to not necessarily forget about what has happened, but you learn to live with it. And it's tough, and it does sometimes feel very lonely, but you just kind of learn to keep moving forward. That got emotional, but for once I didn't cry. I am improving. No, it's okay to cry, and it's okay to not be okay, whether anyone says differently. Like, it's okay to not be okay. You are allowed to feel, you are allowed to hurt, you are allowed to mourn, whatever feeling you may be feeling, you are allowed to feel it. And you are allowed to live your life how you want. Don't let anything stop you. Life's too short for that, you know? Life's too short to be anything but happy. And I know some people are in certain situations where happiness seems far away, but you will get there, and it will definitely be worth it. All the hardships now may suck ass, but in the end, when you get where you are trying to go, it will all be worth it. It really will. I wouldn't say like I'm 100% happy, but I'm a lot happier than I was 4 years ago. Hell, even last year. If you know, you know. Uh, but yeah, I think that's really it. Hopefully, everything that I said makes sense. I know I ramble about some things and I'll jump topics really quick, and I apologize for that, but we are back with Mental Monday, where we can just vent and talk about shit whatever we want. I'm hoping to get things set up to where I can have like a guest to be on with me, so that way I can get some like live feedback, and we can talk about some problems that anyone has and just chill basically. But yeah, I'm gonna call it here. And again, if you want to join the Discord, I think the link is on my page. Feel free to. We also have a safe space tab where you can vent however much you want. Nobody judges, nobody does anything except read it and be there for you. That's it. And that's where I also ask the question of the week, and I'll put the answers here in the video. So I hope this was a good starter video to all of this. And I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, rest of the week, because I know it's just beginning. But I guess I will see you next Monday. Bye.